This is how you're going to build a completely automated cold email system inside of GoHighLevel that costs you $0 a month. There's no ongoing subscriptions, no monthly fees. All you do is build this out exactly how I show you step by step, and you can send up to thousands of emails every single week, every single month from your GoHighLevel account. Now, if you're wondering who I am, my name's Saeed Kamali. I've built a 50 client SaaS agency that I recently made an exit for. And I've got the entire toolkit, the entire game plan, the entire journey on what I did to get there. And what I'm doing now is focusing on working with other agency owners exactly like yourself. You, the one watching this video right now. I'm helping people like you copy the exact same things that I did to book myself appointments and to service my own clients. Getting back to the video, right? Today I'm going to show you guys how you can build an automated cold email system from GoHighLevel. I've created this little document and I will link that below in the pinned comment. It will also be in the description of this video. So at any time you can click on the link and you can access this document. Now, I've created a step-by-step game plan on what we need to do in order to set up this system. And I'm actually going to walk through each and every single step so that you can just follow me along the way and copy exactly what I do. Okay, so step number one, we need to create a new sub account for the cold email campaign we are about to run inside of GoHighLevel. We want to keep this sub account completely fresh, completely blank. We don't want anything else inside of this sub account. We want to keep it separate from everything else that you're doing. The reason for this, right, is because let's say we have an issue within this sub account. Let's say we have an issue when we're running these emails. It does not affect anything else that we've got going on inside of our agency, right? So we want to create a completely blank sub account with a completely blank snapshot. And I'm going to show you guys how to preload it with what we need to get this system up and running. So step number one, make sure you have a completely blank sub account. Okay, so I've already done step one and I can tick that off, right? Step number two, I want to name it cold email and then the niche that you are targeting inside of this sub account, right? This sub account is only going to be used for cold emailing. We're not going to use it for anything else. Now, we can see inside of my high level account, I've got an sub account labeled cold email real estate. So let's say you're targeting solar companies. You would just label it cold email solar, right? And that's step number two ticked off. Now the next step that we want to do, guys, is set up the SMTP/G Suite email with a new domain name, right? Now how are we going to do this? Well, first of all, I would recommend going and creating a completely blank Google account that relates somewhat to your agency name. Now this is just a dummy account that I've just created. If your agency name is solarpanels.com or whatever it may be, try and get an email that is very similar to your agency name, right? Just for this example's use case, I've used a dummy account. Now what I'm going to do is go into high level, right? I'm going to go into my settings on the bottom left. Then I'm going to scroll down until I see email services right here on the left. Now, when I click onto email services, we can see that right now we are using my own domain name, which we do not want to do, right? When we're sending out these emails, we do not want to link it back to our own domain name. So what I'm going to do is click on add a service in the top right. And the provider we are using in this case is Gmail, right? What I'm going to do is paste out my Gmail that I just created into here, and then we need to create a custom password. Now this is how we're going to do this, right? When you have created your email account, I want you to go into the settings of your account, right? Click onto security, and what you need to do is you need to enable two-step verification. So set up your two-step verification. I'm going to go ahead and do that and come straight back to recording. Now, once you've set up your two-step verification, what I want you to do is go into the search bar and search up app password, right? In the bottom right here, it's going to say sign in with app password. And then it's going to bring up this little document for you right here. What I want you to do is click onto this link and go and create an app password. Now, once we click onto app password, right, let's just label it GoHighLevel for now so we know. We're going to go ahead and click on create, and it's going to create an app password for our device. What we want to do is go ahead and copy that password, right? Come back into HighLevel. We're going to paste that password in here, and then we're going to go ahead and hit save. And just as simple as that, we can now see our Gmail has been enabled inside of GoHighLevel. That means now we can send our emails out from GoHighLevel using the Gmail account that we have just created. Now, I would recommend using a Gmail because Gmails are much more likely to actually end up in someone's inbox, right? And now that we've connected our Gmail, we can now get into the juicy stuff on how the actual automations work, how we're going to reach out to people, and how we're going to book them all into appointments. So let's come back into our tracker so far. We've set up the SMTP, we've created a custom email address, and we've added that custom email into our sub account. Now, what's the next step? We need to start a free trial on Instantly so that we can actually warm up this dummy email that we have just created. Now, if you don't have Instantly, I'm also going to leave a link below inside of the pinned comment and inside of the description. Once we are inside of Instantly, we need to connect our account so that we can start warming it up, right? You do this for completely free. You can add one email for completely free and we can start warming that up for free. So step number one, once you're inside of Instantly and you're on the email account section, you're going to go ahead and click onto add new. Now where it says connect existing accounts, you're going to click onto Google, right? Now it's going to give you a set of instructions that you need to complete. So we're going to first go and open our Gmail account, our dummy Gmail account that we've just created. Now in the settings tab right here, I want you to click onto it and click onto see all settings. Now once you click onto see all settings, there's a section here that says forwarding and POP/IMAP. We're going to click onto that, scroll down, right, and what you are going to do is come down to this IMAP section, and you are going to make sure you click onto enable IMAP and then just save the changes below. My email is already configured and I've already enabled the IMAP, but you guys will need to do this, right? Once you've sorted that out, come back into Instantly and then select yes, IMAP has been enabled. Now what we are going to do is select option 2, right? Now in option 2, what are we going to need to do? We need to go and create another app password, right? This is very simple. So we're going to go back to our email. We're going to go on to account and we're going to go to search app passwords. Sign in with app passwords. And we're going to repeat the same process that we just did, right, to connect us into GoHighLevel. We're going to open this in a new tab and we're going to create now an app password for Instantly. We can see already the last app password we created for GoHighLevel. Now let's go ahead and create one for Instantly. We're going to click onto create and then we're going to copy out this password, right? Come back into Instantly. Go on to next, right? And then we're going to enter our password here. Make sure our email address matches up to the dummy email that we just created. And just like that, we've connected our dummy email address inside of this account and we can start warming it up now for completely free. We're going to click on yes, I understand, continue, and now our email is being warmed up inside of Instantly for completely free. So now when we come back and look at our tracker, we have started a free trial on Instantly, so we're going to tick that off. And the next step is actually creating the workflows for the cold emails inside of our GoHighLevel account. Right, now we can get into the workflows that we build inside of HighLevel that completely automate the way we reach out to people, the way we follow up with people, the way we qualify people, and the way we book them all into appointments, completely automated. Let's jump into HighLevel. Now we have a few different workflows and I'm going to walk through each and every single one of them and the roles that they play for this system. Now, we've got the main workflow right here. cold email outreach real estate agents, right? So this is a campaign specifically tailored to real estate agents that we are reaching out to. Now, as you can see, when I zoom out, it is quite an in-depth workflow because we've automated every single aspect of it. Every single aspect in terms of sending them the first message, following up if they don't respond, following up again if they don't respond one last time. Then if they do respond and they want to book an appointment and they say they're interested, we also automate the way we actually book them into an appointment, the way we qualify them, the way we make sure they're the right fit before they're able to book. Every single aspect of this is completely automated. And from a bird's eye view, it can all look like a lot. And you might be thinking, how on earth am I going to build something like this? Well, don't worry. I'm going to break it down into the simple and the sweet science of how this works, right? Now, we've got a contact trigger tag, right? So when someone is tagged with a certain keyword that we are looking for, that acts as a trigger to add them into this workflow. And the tag we are looking for is essentially campaign 1. Right now, as soon as we tag them with campaign 1, the first thing that happens is we're going to add another tag that basically tells us these people that are added into this workflow are all realtors, right? Now, the first email we send them is the first outreach email that we are sending them, right? We want to include something that is a little enticing, right? We know that if we're working with real estate agents, they're always on the hunt for home buyers and home sellers. And including this little tactic, a little hack that I'm willing to share with you guys, include an RE. Now that makes someone believe that you've responded to their actual email when there's no email that we've responded to at all. It just increases your rate of actually someone being able to open your email. If someone sees that RE and then they see the subject line, they're much more likely to actually open the email. And I stole this idea from someone who actually emailed me with this subject line. It was such a great idea. I had to start using it within my own emails and it worked. It started getting my open rates from about 20% to double that, 40% open rate on emails, which is insane. It's unheard of, right? Now, we're going to include a little subject line. Remember, in the subject, you are not trying to pitch them. You are not trying to sell them in the subject. You're just trying to get them to open the email. Now, once they open the email, that is where you come in and you have your offer, right? So in our email, we've got our offer straight away. We aren't being flashy. We're not telling them a personal line. We're not telling them, hey, X, Y, and Z. Hey, we know this is your favorite restaurant. No one cares about that. They literally read the first few lines of your message, and if they're interested, they might respond. And if it doesn't catch their attention enough to the point where they see those first few lines and they want to respond, then they're not going to read the entire message. So we're coming in straight away, hot and heavy. Hey, we are extending an absolutely free 7-day trial where we will be your dedicated team to generate, qualify, and book 1 to 5 buyer or seller appointments for you. Blah, 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 telling them exactly what we'll do. And then we say, hey, if this offer would be of interest to you, respond with yes plus your phone number. If you no longer like to receive these emails, respond no, right? Now, we're of course going to have an unsubscribe button there, but this allows us to drop our unsubscribe rate to keep our email healthy, right? We want to make sure that the people that are receiving these emails, instead of clicking on that unsubscribe button, which can really affect the way you're able to send emails, we'll just tell them to say, hey, just respond no, and we won't email you again, right? We would rather have someone respond no than actually click on that unsubscribe button. Now, there's actually a science behind creating offers that are irresistible. You want to create an offer so enticing, like you're dangling the carrot in front of someone, right? You want to create an offer so enticing so that when someone opens your email, it feels more stupid for them to say no and for them to opt out than it would be for them to simply say yes. Because we're promising them, right, hey, we can do this for you, we can do that for you, we can do this for you, right? And all we're asking for in return is a simple conversation over the phone. Remember, guys, you're not trying to sell them through the email itself. The email acts as a vehicle to get them onto a sales call, and that's where the real selling happens. But on the email itself, you're not trying to sell them, right? Now, how do you create an offer that is irresistible? I've created a full guide on my YouTube channel, how I signed 50 plus AI automation clients. This full video is going to break down to you how to create offers that are irresistible so that your clients come running to you to book appointments with you. Now check out this video. I'm going to link it somewhere above or down in the description below and in the pinned comment so you guys can check out this video. In this full guide, you will see exactly how to create an irresistible offer. Now let's head back to the workflow itself. The next step is a wait step. We are waiting for a contact to reply to our email, right? We're waiting for 24 hours for a contact to respond to our email. Now, what happens after that? Let's say it's been 24 hours, right? And they have not responded to our email yet. Then we've got a condition step here. And essentially what we are doing inside of this condition step, right, is we are separating the people that gave us a positive response. Someone who said yes. Someone who opted into our offer. Someone who said they want to speak to us. Someone who said no. Someone who opted out of our offer. Someone who was not interested in what we do. And someone who did not respond to us at all, right? Now let's focus on someone who did not respond to us at all. Let's say it's been 24 hours. We've sent them that first cold email. We don't want to forget about them after one email. We want to try and follow up with them again, right? So if they've seen our first email, maybe they haven't seen it. Maybe they haven't opened it. Maybe they just haven't had a chance to look at their inbox yet. We want to push ourselves to the top of their inbox again. So we send them a follow-up email, right? This is the second email we're sending them if they do not respond to our first email. So hey, hope you're doing well. We recently reached out to you with an exclusive offer for a 7-day trial to boost your buyer and seller appointments, right? Make that second offer. Pretty much this is a follow-up to the first email that we sent them with our offer inside of it. And after this email, we're essentially waiting for the exact same thing. We've got another wait step, waiting for 24 hours. And then we are splitting people up based on, did they give us a negative reply? Did they opt out of our email? Did they give us a positive reply? Did they show interest in our email? Or did they just not respond at all? And obviously, if they did not respond at all, then this is the last email that we send them. This is the third and final email we send them to try and get a response out of this person. So you guys already understand how the no response branch works. We send that first email, then if they don't respond after 24 hours, we send a second email. They don't respond again after 24 hours, we send a third and final email. Now what happens if someone gives us a positive reply? This is the same for all three emails that we're sending out. What happens if someone gives us a positive reply? If someone says yes, they are interested in what we do. Well, straight away, automatically, right, our system's going to detect that and it's going to say, great, you can use my calendar link below to schedule your kickoff call. We'll get you signed up and enrolled into our program, right? So as soon as someone gives you a positive response, as soon as someone says yes, they are interested, automatically, within the same minute, we are sending them a reply saying, great, let's set up a call, right? So as soon as someone shows you a positive interest, that is when they are going to be most interested in what you do, right? When someone gives you a positive response saying that they want to speak with you, that at that point, their interest in what you do is the highest it's ever going to be. If you're able to meet them there and catch them there and send them your calendar link at the highest point of interest they will ever be, then you're guaranteed to get appointments booked. And because this system is completely automated, because it's sending that email out to those people that reply positively straight away, it means that our booking rates are going to be so much higher than if you were doing it manually yourself, looking at those responses and replying back to a positive response in a day, in 12 hours, in a couple of hours. We want to respond back instantly because that's when someone's interest level in what we do is at its highest point. Now we've got a separate branch of conditions that happen when someone gives us a positive response. If someone gives us a positive response, right, we're not going to just send them one email and expect them to book an appointment straight away. We don't expect them, right, to just book an appointment on the spot. Some people will forget. Some people will see that positive email that we send them and say, okay, let's book an appointment, and they won't do it straight away. So we want to stay in touch with those people. We don't want to let any leads slip through the cracks, right? So if someone gives us a positive response, we send them that first email. and then we're waiting. And this time, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for a contact to actually book a call. And when they do book a call, we're tagging them with demo call booked, right? This wait step is looking for people that actually book a call. Then we've got a condition step here. What happens in this condition step is separating the people that did not book a call from the people that did book a call. So if someone actually does book a call, right, then this branch step is going to separate them. And what's going to happen if they do book a call? We're going to send them another email that pretty much says, hey, thanks for booking a call. Watch this video before our call. This is pretty much to pre-sell someone before they actually speak to you. You're getting them to watch a video sales letter before they speak to you, so that when they do speak to you, it's not a completely cold interaction. It's not like you've just got that person on a call with you from a cold email. You want to make sure that prospect is a little bit warmed up before you do speak to them, especially when we're using cold strategies like this. We want to make sure the people we're speaking to already know who we are before we speak to them, and already know what we do before we speak to them. So when they come onto the call, they have a much higher chance of actually converting than someone who has no idea who we are. We've booked them into a call from a cold campaign, and then they're literally just on the call expecting us to pitch them something. They don't know what to expect, right? You want to make sure people know what to expect before they speak to you. Now that's what happens if someone does book a call. But if they don't book a call, then we're going to remind them, right? We're going to send another email that says to them, hey, notice you haven't booked a call yet. And we're going to entice that offer again and really try and get them to act and book a call. And the same process repeats again and again. We have another condition step, separating the people that booked from the people that didn't. And if they didn't, we're following up again. Same exact process. Did they book? Did they not book? Follow up again. Did they book? Did they not book? Follow up again. Until we get to a point, right, where we've sent them 5 reminders. They still have not booked a call yet. Then we add them into a completely separate workflow, right, called stale prospect follow-up. This is going to follow up with all the people who have given you a positive response, but after 5 reminders, they still haven't booked a call. Now, after 5 reminders, you can completely forget about them, or you can stay on top of them. You can make sure that you're aggressively in front of them on the longer term, because I've had use cases where I'll email someone, they give me a positive response, and they don't book a call with me until 6 months out, 7 months out, 8 months out. But if I didn't have those follow-up processes in place, they would never have booked a call with me. I don't like anyone slipping through the cracks. I want to make sure I'm staying on top of every single opportunity, right? And if someone shows me a positive interest, if someone positively responds to my email, that is someone that I can potentially do business with. That is someone that I can potentially sell my services to. So I'm going to stay on top of that person until they actually book a call, or until they either just tell me to get lost. Now this is what the stale prospect follow-up looks like. This is the workflow for leads who have given us a positive response but who have not booked a call after 5 reminders. We are going to follow up and nurture these leads in depth until they actually book a call. Until they either book a call or they opt out of our workflow. If someone has shown interest in what we do, we want to stay on top of that person until they actually book, right? And this workflow is going to help you do that in automation across the next 12 months. All we are doing is sending follow-up emails, waiting for them to either book or not book, and then sending another follow-up email if they haven't booked, right? If they have, then we're obviously going to send them that video to look at. But if they haven't, they're going to keep going down and down and down and receiving follow-up after follow-up after follow-up for the next 12 months. And this works, guys. You might think it's annoying, but it works. It gets results. Because I've had use cases where people book calls with me after 6, 7, 8 months because I've got a system in place that allows me to stay on top of every single lead. And now we also need an opt-out workflow. What is an opt-out workflow? This has a trigger, right? And the trigger is looking for a customer who replies to any of our emails using our opt-out keywords. So if someone replies to an email and they opt out using the keywords that we provided to them, then automatically we are going to enable a DND to that contact, and we're going to remove them from all workflows. This allows us, right, to keep our opt-out rate very low and still make sure we're not bothering people who aren't interested in what we do. Now, how do we know when to stop following up with people? I showed you guys in the previous workflows in the branch step, we are looking for a tag, right? We're looking for a tag that tells us someone has actually booked a call. And this workflow right here is going to automatically add that tag to someone when they do book a call. So the trigger is we're looking for someone to actually book an appointment, right? As soon as they book an appointment, we're adding a tag that says they've booked an appointment, and that allows us to identify in the follow-up workflows, okay, this person's booked a call, we don't need to follow up with them anymore. Let's send them that video to watch before they actually speak to us. Now, the next step, guys, is setting up a pipeline that automatically tracks who's opened, who's replied, who's opted out, and who's actually booked an appointment from the cold email campaign that we're running. It's super simple to set this all up, and it's going to be done for us in automation. We want to actually use the data that we have to make calculated decisions. We want to use the data that we have so that if I send 300 emails today and I know that 50% of them are opened, and from the 50% of them that are opened, let's say 3% of them actually book a call, how many emails do I need to send every single day? If I've got a 3% booking rate, how many emails do I need to send in order to book 15 appointments a day? I can use that data to make calculated decisions on what I need to do in order to scale up my operations. So how do we set this up? It's super simple. Inside of GoHighLevel, we have this opportunities tab right here. We are going to create a pipeline with 5 different stages: prospect, opened, replied, opt out, and booked. And the workflows that I've already walked you guys through is automatically going to update our contacts into the right stage of the pipeline that they fit in. Let's go into the main workflow right here. This is the main workflow that we're adding people into to send them our cold campaign. As soon as we enter someone into this workflow, what happens? Well, we've got a step, right, where we are adding them into that pipeline. The first stage we're adding them into is a prospect, right? Which means that this is the first time we're reaching out to them. We've added them into this pipeline. Now, what happens? As they move down the pipeline, they get updated accordingly based on where they currently fit into the pipeline. So when someone gives us a negative response, when they opt out of our cold email campaign, what happens? We update that contact inside of the pipeline to move to the opt-out stage, right? What happens when someone gives us a positive response? When someone says that they're interested in what we do, well, then we remove them to the replied stage, right? We move them to the replied stage, telling us, okay, this person replied to us, they just have not yet booked a call. And then what happens if they actually do book? When they do book, we move them to that pipeline stage that tells us they've booked an appointment. Now, when someone has just opened our email from our campaign, but they haven't responded, they haven't opted out, they haven't booked, then we've got a separate workflow inside of here. The trigger is looking for an email event. It's looking for them to actually open our email, and they must be inside of that main workflow where we're reaching out to them. When that happens, we move them to that open stage inside of our pipeline. So now we've set up a pipeline for tracking, completely automated the way we're able to collect our data and see how our campaigns are performing. Now the next part of the process is scraping leads and verifying them for free. Inside of this document that you all have access to, I've actually included some extra resources, such as creating your irresistible offer. What should you include in your email? How should you create an offer that is irresistible, that gets people responding, that gets people positively responding, that gets people booking appointments with you? And then how to scrape and verify your leads for free. Right? I'm not going to go over that because they're two separate things. Right now, just go and look at the document and you'll be able to access all of the resources. Okay, now let's say you've gone through that video that I show you on how to scrape leads for free. You've gone ahead and scraped your leads and downloaded them as a CSV file. Now, right, we're going to head over to emaillistverify.com. I'm also going to leave a link for them inside of the SOP that you all have access to, so you guys can go ahead and get signed up for completely free. Now, inside of Email List Verify, what we are going to do is choose our files, upload the CSV that we have just scraped, hit upload, right? And what we are going to do is verify now. And it's going to go through all our emails inside of our file and verify if those emails are real and which ones we should and shouldn't be sending emails to. Now, email list verify has actually gone and scrubbed through that entire list, right? It's found 3 invalid emails inside of my list. What I'm going to now do is download my clean list, right? Download CSV. And now I'm going to go back into GoHighLevel, go to my contacts tab, and I'm going to import my list of contacts that I just downloaded. So I'm going to go hit import, contacts, next, upload my file. Make sure it is the clean list that you just downloaded. Create contacts. So now let's go ahead and map our fields. So first name, last name, business name, okay. Phone is okay. Email is perfect. Created last activity, contact tags, we don't need that. Additional emails, we don't need that. And additional phones, we don't need that. Okay. Don't import data in 8 unmapped columns. Hit next. So we're not going to import any contacts into a workflow, and we're not going to add any tags to them. I'll show you why. We just want to import the contacts for now. And then once we import the contacts, then we will start adding them into the workflow ourselves, but there's a very specific process that we must follow. So what have we done so far? We've scraped our list of leads and verified them, and we've just uploaded them as a CSV into our sub account. And inside of GoHighLevel, we can see our list of leads. Now first, what I want to do is I want to create myself as a dummy contact. I want to test this whole campaign on myself first before I start adding any leads into this whole campaign. So I've created 2 test contacts. I'm going to go ahead and add them to automation, right? And what I'm going to do is click on to proceed. And the workflow I'm adding them into is the main outreach campaign. For now, let's just go ahead and hit add to automation so that our test can run successfully. And as we can see, guys, we've received the email. It's come into my main inbox, right? It's from John Gab, the dummy name that we used, and it's come in with the email that we writ out inside of the workflow. So that means everything is working okay. And now we can move on and actually start running this to our list of contacts. Now really quickly, before we do start running this to our list of contacts, this is already going to be pre-configured inside of our workflows, but I just want to make sure that it is the same for you guys as well. When you click onto the main outreach workflow, right, click onto settings for me and then scroll down. You are going to allow a specific time window, and you're going to select it in the contact time zone. Select which days you would like to send out the emails, and then obviously your sender details, so whatever your name is, and then you're enabling the email address to be sending from is going to be the same dummy email address that we configured inside of the settings, right, with GoHighLevel. So remember earlier on in the stages, we were setting up our SMTP and connecting our Gmail account into GoHighLevel. Make sure the email address that you're sending these emails from is that same email account that we connected, right? And then obviously you can configure this to send however you like, between what times and what days, whichever you like. Now I've just added an extra step inside of the main workflow, inside of the cold email outreach. I've added 2 extra steps, and they're 2 drip steps. Super simple to configure. Right at the top, we're going to set up our first drip step to only send 100, right? So only 100 people are going to pass through this drip step every 24 hours. So at first, right, our email is still being warmed up. I would give it a few days to warm up before you even start doing any of this. But once it's been a few days and your email has started to get warmed up inside of Instantly, you're going to come here, you're going to set up your drip step to only pass through 100 contacts every 24 hours. And the second drip step is then going to take 100 people a day, right? So we're reaching out to 100 people a day, and then we're sending 1 email every 5 minutes. This is going to automatically make sure that we're sending emails in a safe manner, and we're doing it in a systematic way so that we're not reaching out to more than 1 contact at a time. So now when it comes to selecting my list of contacts, right, I'm going to select all my list of contacts that I cleaned up inside of my verifier, and I'm going to add them all into that main automation, right? Cold email outreach real estate agents, I don't need to add them in drip mode because inside of the workflow it's already going to drip them out for me. I can just label it as today's date, right? Outreach. And then I add them all to automation. And now when I go into the actual workflow itself, we should be able to see that we've got 100 people in here that are waiting to be reached out to. As we can see, we've got 99 people, right? And what is happening right now? Out of those 99 people, we're going to send one email, right? Every 5 minutes, right? So the 99 people in this drip step, one of them is going to pass through every 5 minutes and receive our first outreach email. So where does this leave us in the tracker? We've actually completed the whole system. We've run a test on ourselves and we've seen that the email has landed in our inbox, right? We've tested it. With cold email, it's all a numbers game. Anything that is outbound is all a numbers game. If you're only sending 100 emails a day and you expect to get a shit ton of appointments booked, sorry to break it to you, but it's probably not going to happen. You need to be sending hundreds of emails a day. If not, you want to scale to thousands of emails a day. And this is how you can do it in the most cost-friendly manner. I haven't paid for any subscriptions to create this whole system. The only thing I'm paying for is GoHighLevel. That's it. I don't pay for the email domain. I don't pay for Instantly. I don't pay for anything. I don't pay to scrape the leads. I don't pay to verify the leads. I don't pay for anything. I'm just paying for GoHighLevel subscription, and I've created this whole system that's going to reach out to 300 plus people from one sub account every single day. Now, how do you scale this up? How do you get to a point where you are reaching out to hundreds and hundreds of leads? How do you get to a point where you're reaching out to thousands of leads? All you do is replicate this whole process that I just went through with you here today on a completely different sub account. You just create a new sub account and you repeat this whole process again and again and again to the point where you can have 10 sub accounts that you're running outreach campaigns from. That's my situation right now. I probably got 25 different sub accounts that I'm running cold email campaigns from. And it's the exact same thing for you guys. This is the most cost-friendly way that you can scale your email outreach without having to pay for anything in monthly subscriptions. And this is actually the only way that you can completely automate the process too, from sending the email, qualifying someone, making sure that you're following up with people who want to book. Is completely automated. The only thing you're actually doing is making sure you have email addresses to feed into the system so we can reach out to them and we can book them into appointments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's actually an option for you to speak with me directly if you want me to set up this whole system for you and show you how you can replicate it and show you how you can get up and running within 20 minutes. If you want me to do all of this for you, book a call below. It's going to be in the description. It's going to be in the pinned comment. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Peace out.